Hello, my fellow humans, and welcome back to Scatter Love Tarot. It's your girl Becky coming at you with another pick a card reading. And today we are going to do what are people saying about your glow up. First and foremost, I ask for your patience. I'm just now coming back. I'm feeling much better. I'm still a little congested, but I'm not feeling terrible. I do have a little bit of a cough, so hang with me. I want to say thank you to everyone that prayed for me, that wished me well, that sent me just such positive energy. I felt it and I received it, and I feel so loved and held and supported in this time. So thank you so much. And I know I promised last month that we would have memberships up and running, and I was actually in the process of doing that until I got sick, and it did set me back. I promise you, they are coming. Okay, but with me getting sick, it kind of had me put into a place of where I'm reevaluating some things, and I do have a couple of surprises coming for you, so hang with me. I apologize that it's taking a little bit longer than I planned, but such is life. We make plans, we make goals, and sometimes the plans change, but the goals never do change. So my goal is to offer you memberships. My goal is to get these out to you so that you have a little bit more to choose from, to spend more time here on the channel, and that is all coming. That is the goal. It is all coming, but the plan has changed just a tad bit, so hang with me. I'm going to try and get back into your regular scheduled videos as we move forward. Again, patience is necessary. We are moving up into the holiday season here, and it's just a little bit hectic. That's all. It's just a tad bit hectic. So let me move my lighter out of the way. But if you are a returning subscriber, viewer, watcher, supporter, thank you so much just for allowing me your energy, your time, and for being here, and your positivity. And for those of you that continue to interact with the channel, I just love you so much, and everything you do is so deeply, deeply appreciated. And if you're new here, welcome. This is a reminder that we are all human, that we are all going to make human mistakes and have this human experience set before us, that it is a safe space for you to come as you are in your most high, authentic, light self. All right. So today I am going to be choosing a card from my bird messages. I absolutely love these cards. I'm so excited to use them. And I've got everything set up for us. Let us go ahead and get into our prayer. It is not going to be a super long reading. However, it is going to be a reading nonetheless. I promised you I'd come back, and here I am coming back. If not full-fledged, I am still coming back with what I got, 100% of what I've got, okay? So this prayer goes out to all y'all. Source, wrap us up in your care and your love at this time, and keep our health in a place of strength. Keep us in a safe space so that we can continue to receive what our body is telling us and listen to our body. Sometimes it's hard when we're not feeling good, and sometimes we make ourselves and push ourselves and force ourselves to do so much when really there's nothing to do except to receive your care and your support and your love. I ask that you open us up to what is best for us as we move into, at least where I'm at, the colder months of the year, which do tend to bring with it sickness and feelings of despair and feelings of depression, to help us keep a bright spirit and a strong body and a clear mind. I ask that even in our hardest times that we find the strength to always lean into you, to the love and the guidance that you continue to give us at each and every moment of the day, that you are here with us and always being a guiding light for us, that we may rely on you whenever we need to, and that you are within the stillness, you are within the silence, forever giving us wisdom, forever giving us guidance and knowledge. Thank you for taking care of us, and thank you for giving us a love that is never ending, that is everlasting, and always unconditional. As these words are spoken unto this reading and into this space, so shall they be. Amen. Aho, ase. Thank you, thank you, thank you, my beloved source. Thank you so much. So let me go ahead and get this set up over here. Alrighty then. Alrighty. Okay, so I'm feeling a tad goofy. It's cool. I've kind of been out of it the last few days on some crazy medicines. You know, that sick medicine, it is no joke. Alright, so source. For pile number 1, what bird message is going to help us understand better what people are saying about pile number 1's glow up? Thank you, source. And for pile number 2, source, what bird message card is going to help us understand better what people are saying about pile number 2's glow up? All right, thank you, source. And for pile number 3, what bird message or oracle card is going to help us better understand what people are saying about pile number 3's glow up, source? Pile number 3. Okay, there we go. Thank you. And the message for the collective, on the bottom of the deck, we have Secretary Bird. Be rid of your enemies, source says. Pew, pew. Get on out of here with your BS. We don't need that. Like, love this snake here. It's interesting. I saw a video this morning about mongooses, and if you don't know, or if you're not aware of what mongooses are, they're kind of like a cousin to the weasel, but they're actually immune to venom. Right? They have, it's kind of like not immunity, but it holds off the venom. So even if a snake bites them, like, it's not going to take effect. Like, neurotoxins just don't take effect like that. This fly today. Right? And so it's interesting because and then we have this bird here that's fighting the snake. It's trying to kill it so it can eat it. And I think that this is a message for the collective right now that we're about to be rid of our enemies. So, like, even with this reading, right, we're trying to tap into what people are saying about us, good, the bad, the ugly, the beautiful, whatever it is that's being said about us. But it's like, for those that don't have our best intentions in mind, like, not to fear, because they're nothing. Like, they're not, even our haters will actually end up supporting us on the journey. It sounds so weird, but it's true, because they're trying to figure out what it is that you're doing. They're trying to figure out where you're going, what it is that you're spending time on. And without them realizing it, even though they're sending you like negative energy, they're actually supporting you because they become a viewer, and they become like a consistent viewer, right? Like, your life is their soap opera and they can't miss an episode. So that's just like kind of the energy that's coming through here. Anyways, let's go ahead and get with it. For pile number 1, it's Choose Your Amethyst Day. We have this beautiful amethyst for you to choose from. Are we gonna focus today? Let me get that. There we go. My camera is being really weird today. Okay. Actually, like that. Maybe. For pile number 2, we have this beautiful tumbled amethyst. Oh, this one's so pretty. It's just so dark and purpley and lovely. Focus, camera. Focus. The camera feels like me today. It's like I'm kind of here and I'm kind of not. Alright. And then for pile 3, we have this beautiful shard of amethyst for you to choose from. Right, so we have pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. And whichever pile you're drawn to, that should be the pile for you. I'll see you over on your chosen pile. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this beautiful piece of amethyst, or if you were drawn to this card during the shuffle, this is going to be your reading on what are people secretly saying or saying about your glow up. It could be secret. It might not be secret. We don't know. We'll get into it. We'll find out. We'll check out this card at the end. Couple of things. If you missed the intro, watch the intro, because I actually talk about what's going on with the memberships in there. Just to save myself and my voice today, because I'm coming back from being sick, I just don't want to get into it again. But that's all in the intro for you. So if you want to know what's going on with that, don't worry. It is coming. It's just got delayed because of me getting sick. All right. So anyways, Also, keep in mind these are general readings, so take what resonates and leave what does not, knowing that as you interact with the channel by liking, commenting, and subscribing below, it does allow me an opportunity to directly connect with your energy and get you out more resonant readings. And if you are interested in supporting the channel further, you'll find all the links necessary in the description box below. You may also email me for a personal reading. I'll get you out further information. And you can also follow me on over to my podcast at Scatter Love Radio on Spotify, which is a fun hangout session with yours truly. I do hope to see you there. I just uploaded today episode 49. Cannot believe we're about to hit the big 5-0, which is so exciting, so awesome. And thank you to those of you that have been supporting me over there as well. I truly appreciate you so much. It's amazing to see that I've touched around the world, not only on my YouTube channel, but on my podcast channel as well. It's just such a blessing. All right, so 2 things. I am recovering from being sick, so it's not going to be a long reading today, but we are going to get you the information you want to know. And I do have a little bit of a cough, so hang with me. I'm feeling much better, but I do need to still rest, but I still need to get some work done at the same time. So here we are. Let's get into it. We'll ask the dice and find out what people are saying about your glow up. But I want to use the dice to see what it is, the area that you're glowing up in today. Okay, so Source, can you tell us what area pile number 1 is glowing up in? Can you give us a bit more information on that so that they know that this is their reading? What area is pile number 1 glowing up in so that we know that this is their reading, Source? Okay, so we've got the 10th house, Cancer, and Uranus. Ooh, child, there's a big old change coming for you in your career, your finances. You're about to be recognized. You could be blowing up if you've got some sort of platform that you are following or using. This is like, shares, and subscribes with Uranus energy right here. Something you've definitely been nurturing. It's something that you've been taking the time to focus on, right? Can y'all see that? All right, cool. Yeah, this is something that you have been really putting a lot of effort on, hardworking, taking your time, being patient. It feels like this is something that's been like in the making, a long time in the making. Me love you long time. It's like, that's what it feels like. Oh my gosh. And with Uranus energy here, it's like something that's going to radically change. Like, I don't even feel like you are even aware that this is coming, or it's going to be as big as it is, or it's going to fly off and pop off like it's going to. This is showing me here that it's like something you just every day, or, you know, every week you're showing up, you're putting time and energy and effort, and you really are nurturing it. You really are babying it, you know, and in a good way. It's not like you're suffocating it or being like too overprotective of it. I mean, and in some way I feel like you are. Definitely. I don't feel like you share every aspect of this situation with everybody, but you are in the place of where you're wanting it to thrive, and you're doing everything that's possible for it to thrive, and it's taking off. And it's showing here with the 10th house, this could be fame, fortune, status, okay? And not all of those things will go together, and for some of you, those are all going to go together, okay? So it's just whatever it is, because not everybody, I feel like everybody's got it mixed up when they say, oh, everybody wants to be famous. I mean, I think everybody likes the idea, sure, but I feel like there's also a lot of people who are happy being behind the scenes and doing important type of work behind the scenes. But whatever it is that you've been putting your energy and effort towards, there is definitely recognition that's coming here. There's something that is going to be changing. But when we have Uranus energy, we have the Aquarian energy that comes with that, right? With the 11th house. And 11th house is all about like-minded individuals, humanitarian efforts paying off. This is like you're connecting with a group or a whole lot of people that see your vision and agree with your vision and are supporting your vision. And it's like around the world, right? All around the world, just na 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 na. I can't sing today because of my voice, but that's who's that? Daft Punk. Yeah, so it's like all around the world. This is something that's going to be seen all around the world, or it's going to benefit people in places that maybe you had no idea. It's going to reach corners of the world that you didn't know. But it's definitely big. It's an idea. It's something that's being realized as we speak. It's just because you've taken so much time and energy and effort on it. Okay, so let's get some cards out. Source, what are people saying? So we're going to get the good, the bad, the ugly. We'll see what comes through, what Source wants you to know. So remember, we are connecting with how people are seeing you. It in no way, shape, or form is the truth of who you are. So take it with a grain of salt. And, you know, for those of you that use that as fuel to fuel your journey, good for you. For those of you that just are curious and want to know, remember, don't take it personal. You're doing the right thing by following your dream. Okay, so Source, what are people saying about pile number 1's glow up? What more would you like to tell us? What are people saying about pile number 1's glow up? It's been a long time coming. What are people saying about pile number 1's glow up? It's changed the way you see yourself and how you show up for others. What are people saying about pile number 1's glow up? And that you're very calm and collected. Like, even though it's like most people would have given up long before, like, because you're still going, like, you've developed a strength that many could only hope for and dream for because they don't have your resolve. What are people saying about pile number 1's glow up, Source? Thank you. Like, I keep saying, like, the detective, right? Like, you're a detective. You're just getting more and more information as you go. More and more clarity, more and more strength, more and more understanding about the whole. And it's like you're enthralled by the journey, and most people only want the outcome. Yeah, it's almost like they're saying, like, what they're saying about your glow up is like a comparison of self, okay? And there's going to be some, I want you to understand that not everybody is going to say positive things. So I'm just being real with you here, but there are people saying that you didn't work hard for this, that you're getting supported, and they're going to only see the they're only seeing the downside of that. Like, oh, you suddenly got fame and fortune, or you suddenly got a huge promotion and a huge pay raise, and you're now belonging to a whole nother tax bracket, right? Like, and how it's unfair. Especially with the 10 of coins here in the reverse. When we see the 10 of coins in reverse, it talks about an unfair inheritance or an unfair situation where suddenly you get money. Like, that's just really at a base level. It's talking about how if you're gaining a lot of funds, people around you are saying it's not fair. Okay, it's not fair. So there are those that are saying this has been a long time coming for you. So there are people who are supporting this, but there's a lot of people here that are saying that suddenly you're becoming financially stable. And especially with this 4 of coins here in the upright, we have this idea of you becoming financially stable here, being able to take care of yourself, being dependent only on you, right? Independent of everyone else, dependent on your time and energy and effort that you're showing up. And their illusions are based on this idea that, oh, you don't know. So, like, if you're working with a company, there's people saying, oh, it's just because you did something for another person. We're not talking sexually. I'm not, maybe some people are saying that, but that's not the energy that's coming through here. It's like, oh, there's been promises that are made that won't be kept, that pile number 1 sold themselves out so that they could gain this. Like, it's not fair that they're doing this. So this is interesting. Let's see what else is coming in here. Yeah, I'm not surprised that came out. All right, so we've got the 4 of Wands. We've got the Hermit reverse. Ooh, okay. And we've got, it was interesting. I kept feeling like this was family, but I didn't know for sure. And then we have the 8 of Cups coming out. You all know whenever the 8 of Cups shows up in my deck, that is the family card. Reversed, upright, it doesn't matter. It's just family. And the meaning changes, but it's like the 8 of Cups in the Tarot Marseille is family. It's just family, okay? And like the meaning of it depends, but we have the reversal here showing that, on a base level saying, I really want to know what's going on with pile 1. So not because I care, but because I'm nosy and I want to gossip about it. And I want to tell other people about it because it's making me feel some sort of way. You cut ties with whoever this is. So whoever it is that's talking about you right now, this is just one person, or it's like a small group of people. We're not talking about people who are supporting you. We're not talking about people who are for you right now. It may change when we get some clarifiers here. These are people who you've cut ties with. You don't talk to them. You don't tell them what you're doing. You don't talk about what it is that you're into. And they're basically saying that you didn't work hard for what it is that you're getting. And you're going to see some huge, my apologies for hitting the camera. You're going to see some huge increase in your funds, where you're going to be able to enjoy things that you want to enjoy. Like, you're going to be able to buy yourself nice things. You'll be able to take yourself out. You could be even getting a new house, a new car. I heard a new apartment. Somebody's looking for an apartment, a condo. Ooh, that was loud. Condo came in. Like, finally I get my condo. You're living the big life. Solo. What is that song by, I'm Riding Solo? Check that song out. I don't want to sing. My voice just, I can't sing right now. Y'all know I always get songs channeled, but they're telling me right now I'm riding solo. So I feel like that's exactly how you are right now. You're just focusing on you and what's good for you. Especially with this energy up here. It's all about you and your career, you and your bag. But it's more than that too. It's about financial stability so that you can take care of yourself without having to rely on others who in the past have made you feel some sort of way, right? Whether that's bad for what you like to do, bad for being who you are, not enough, not worthy, whatever it is, they made you feel some sort of way here. But these are individuals who absolutely blatantly refuse to see their own downfalls and pitfalls in the situation. And they're saying that you've given up on family. Oh, and now pile one is famous, and now pile one has this status, or now pile one's got clout, and they have given up on family. They don't want to do anything with us. And I feel like that's so far from the truth. It's like you had to save yourself in this situation here. With the Four of Wands opening your reading, it's like showing this energy of like, I have to let go. No matter how much I love you, I have to let go so I can save myself, because you're in a sinking ship. And I'm sorry, I took the life jacket. I took the lifeboat, not sorry, so I could save myself. Go ahead and sink yourself. You're out in the middle of the ocean. That's a pretty far way down to the bottom. I still like my air, okay? And that's you. And you basically cut ties with them. And they're saying, oh, you left us in the dark. You left us doing this. And that's what they're saying about your glow up. You're too good for us. You think that you're better than us. Like, you got all this money, and now who do you think you are? And I feel like you're not any of those things at all. I feel like you're a very kind person. Like, you're actually probably pretty generous. Like, if they were actual family, not just people holding a title in your life, if they were actually family and acted like family should, that you would probably include them in a lot of the things that you have. But because of the situations and because of the way that they played in your life and the way they showed up in your life, excuse me, there's just no room for that, right? There's no room for that. I'm not giving you guys a position in my life, especially a position that you showed me when I had nothing. I wasn't worth anything to you. So now that I have something, you think that you should mean something to me when you've already shown me your true colors. Like, and that's what's going on here. It's just they're really mad that you have gained. It's all about your bag. Like, they're really showing here. They feel some sort of way about your money, especially with the 10 of coins coming out in the reverse here. And so they're just spreading lies about you. Oh, you know, now that they're making money, they're not taking care of us. Like, they're not showing up for us. They're too good to come to family dinners or this, that, and the other. It's could have been people who didn't even let you come around when you were at your worst, right? If you can't support me when I'm at my worst, don't expect me to be around you when I'm at my best. But they don't see it that way, because it's like, for them, it's like the title that they hold, the position that they hold is everything. Like, we have the Hermit coming out again. They've caused you to internally dive into yourself to understand, right? And you felt so small at one point. And now you're shining so bright, and you've grown into your power and become very confident about who you are. And they're saying that your confidence is false. Like when nobody's around, like you don't believe in yourself, you question yourself, like can't believe that people are actually trusting you or believing that you're actually good for this position. And that's another reason why you had to let them go. Yeah, they're not willing to look into the mirror. So there's this reflection. Look at this. It's like this reflection. They're not willing to see themselves. They're not willing to see themselves. See, her eyes are closed here in the card. Like they just don't want to see themselves. They don't want to see the role that they've played. So they're trying to act the victim in a situation that they don't actually have a right of acting a victim of. I know it's all about what are they saying about your glow up, but that's really what's going on here. They're trying to be a victim in a situation that really, like, excuse me, as time goes on, what's going to happen here is that people are going to be like, why are you playing like this? Like, pile one did everything that they could to hold that relationship together, and we see that you didn't show up. Like, we see now that you're just bashing them and trying to make them look like a terrible person. When in reality, you're the one that won't change. Like, you haven't changed at all. And it's getting to the point where it's like people are seeing the lies that this person or these people are talking about. Right? At one point, maybe they were in a position where people believed everything that they said. And people like that do win for a little while. But after some time, the tables begin to turn and people see the true colors of this person. And I feel like the thing is that it's like whatever this person or these people have said about you, it's like it's all going to come. Why do I hear that song? It's all coming back to me now. What is that, a Celine Dion song? So it's like the ball is in your court, pile one. Whatever you choose to play, it's not really ultimately going to matter. I mean, I wouldn't say to, like, treat this person terribly or anything like that. Like, you don't want that karma to come back on you. But it's like if you choose to support this person because you have that kind of love in your heart, it's just it's gonna show people the truth of who you are. And if you choose not to support this person, again, it's going to be different for everyone, right? So please trust that I'm not saying what you should and should not do. You have to listen to your intuition here. You have to listen to your discernment because it is different for everyone. But for those of you that choose not to support this person, like it doesn't matter because people are going to see how much you've given to them. They're going to see you reflecting in them. They're going to see how they're projecting on you and how it's like there's two sides to every coin, right? Like that's what I'm seeing here. It's like there's two sides to every coin and they're trying to make their side of the coin look like, oh, I'm the better person, but I'm also the victim. I'm the one that everybody should trust, but I'm also the one that's spreading lies and I don't want people to know about. You see what I'm saying? Like they want everybody to believe everything that they're saying, and what they're not seeing is coming is that it's going to be shown because you're a product of the effort that you've put in. And this person has not grown in the time that all these people who've been listening to them have been listening to them. This person hasn't changed. Nothing has happened with this person. They've stayed stagnant. They talk a loud game, but they do not act. They do not walk the walk. Okay? They don't even talk the talk. They just talk a loud game. That's all I'm hearing. Yeah. And we have strength here. This makes so much sense. You're going to see how strong it is that you are. That's what I'm saying. Some of you are going to choose to still be that good-hearted person and come in and support. You know, it's just because that's who you are. And others of you are like, nope, I'm done. I cut ties with them once. I'm not gonna put myself in a situation like that again. And that's okay. Like, whatever you choose is fine. But what people are going to see is that you actually were so strong dealing with this face to face. This was something that you had to overcome. And in overcoming that is what gave you the strength to continue on to work on this position that you're working on, or to work on this project or this situation that you're working on right now, to gain what you needed to allow it to blossom. People are going to see that. They're going to see the work that you put in, right? People can talk. They can talk all they want. But at the end of the day, our effort and our consistency shows. Yeah, we have the Queen of Cups here on the bottom of the deck. They're seeing how kind and nurturing you are. So there is a person or a group of people that are seeing here. Like we have the 10 of Coins coming out again. You're actually a very giving person. I feel like you, in this status upgrade or in this promotion or whatever it is, you're actually going to be giving back a lot. Whether that's to, what are they called? Charities. I couldn't remember what they were called. Whether that's to charities or to help people, or you're going to be building some sort of a project that gives back to others. Like, it's going to be undeniable. So it's like everything that this person's saying, it's going to start turning into this energy of like, okay, why are you saying this when pile one is going above and beyond to help people? Like, for as much as they help strangers, I can't imagine that they would turn their back on people that are their family or their blood or their loved ones unless there's something that we're not seeing here. And that's when people begin to see. But this person's saying a lot about how unfair it is that you've been given a break in life and that they feel entitled to the position that you have, or they feel entitled to the salary that you have or the money that you have. Like, they feel like they're entitled to that because they're have all these things that they're trying to make, like, they believe, like, oh, I gave up my life, or, you know, like those people that come in, oh, well, they took away my life because I got pregnant with them, or because I had a kid, like, all my dreams stopped, and now they're just a huge burden on me. It's like that type of ugly that's coming through here, and it's like, it's gonna shift. Their source is just being very clear about this in the message, that it's gonna shift, and people are gonna be like, whoa, you really say stuff like that about your kin? Like, okay. Like, that's how it's going to shift. Like, it's just going to shift into a very ugly situation, or very ugly words that people are going to be like, oh, I better think twice about believing this person. I better think twice about the type of energy that I give to this person, because they're saying this about someone that's in their family. What are they going to say about me? Yeah, they're just like mad because you found your path of purpose. Like, you found what you were destined to do. And now you went from being someone who is maybe a people pleaser and who allowed this person to always own your energy, to saying, no more. Like, I rule the seas, right? You have sharks here being an apex predator. It's like you went from being the prey to the hunted to being the hunter. That's exactly what happened here. You went from one side of the scale to the other. You're like, I'm not going to let you bring me down like that. It's just not going to happen anymore. I spent too long of my life letting you determine what was right for me, how I was supposed to be, or what was going on. And this person only knows a portion of how they've actually brought trauma into your life. It's unfortunate that some people are like this, you know. They're just not willing to see their own faults in a situation. They're not willing to see their own, it takes two to tango in life. And part of healing is just seeing your own toxic patterns that you bring to any situation, even if you don't feel like you're toxic, It's just, they're saying here that this person's just not accountable for anything that they do. I keep saying person, so for some of you it is just one person, but I feel like there's also for others where it is actually a group of people that are saying these. Let's get a couple of these out. Let's do 3 of these, source. 1, 2. Yeah, that does not surprise me. 1 more. Oh, yeah. Oh, thank you for that clarifying. Yeah, look, you were at one point their marionette. Dictatorship, domination, and reluctance. Yeah, so this is the energy that they want you to be in, and you're not in that anymore. You've said, no, enough is enough. Look, the family card flipped over. Do you see that here? Here's the family card. Bond, home, background. So again, this is source being very clear that this is family coming in here. I'm not surprised at all. We have inducement, persuasion, bribe, and temptation. Like, this person is trying to get everybody to see things from their point of view. And it's like, no matter what story they paint here, people are starting to hesitate on believing this person. Okay? But that's part of their strategy. They're planning. There's this like, they're trying to read your mind. They're trying to predict what you're going to do next. And they're trying to play the game. Like, oh, like if you get a raise, they're going to be like, oh, well, they're just going to leave me because that's all they ever do. Like they want people to feel sorry for them. They're okay with playing the victim. They don't care if people see them as some weakling because it means that people are seeing them and feeling bad for them. They have control over somebody's feelings, right? Yeah, but you're in this place of finding solitude. You're isolating yourself from a lot of people here. So I was saying with the Four of Wands over here, it feels like you've absolutely cut this person off. And even if they're in your energy, like they're around you, like what I mean by cutting them off is that you're just not giving them that satisfaction of knowing who you are anymore because they just don't care. This could be a Pisces. You could be a Pisces, or both of you could have Pisces placements, highly aspect in your chart. We have intimacy, intuition, and compassion. This is what you're doing. You're being intimate with yourself. You're giving love to yourself. You're listening to your discernment and your intuition in this. You've grown wise. You know, Pisces is the elder of the zodiac. And it's just showing that you've gained a lot of wisdom from dealing with this for your whole life, this type of energy. And no longer are you going back into that. So this person has a lot to say. They don't care about your glow up. What they care is what they're going to gain from it or not gain from it. And that's the only reason why they're saying what they're saying. So we have 51 here with be playful. This tells me that you're reconnecting with your inner child here. You've had to. That's how you've come about your purpose, is learning to say, it's okay to let my inner child have fun. It's okay to be playful again. It's okay to enjoy life again. And so they want you to continue doing that here. And then we have Crystal here with have faith and hope because there's something positive and new on the horizon that you can't see yet. And I love that this came out because when I was saying that earlier with the dice, I kept getting this feeling like you actually are not seeing the amount of growth that's going to come. It's going to be really sudden and really large is what it feels like here. Like next level. Like all of a sudden you're going to be like, whoa. And then this person's going to have a whole lot to talk about. They're going to be like, oh, pile one. And you're going to be like, yeah, that's right, bitches. Excuse me. But you're going to be like, yeah, that's right. I worked hard for this. And I deserve this. Let's see what your card is. I'm going to read this from the book. Okay, I think this is Blue Teat. I don't want to say what I think it is, but we're going to say find your voice and free your spirit. Oh my gosh, I love this. I love this for you. Okay, let me check out and see where this is. They're not alphabetized. I have to go to the beginning. To the beginning. Where are you? I should probably earmark the page. Okay, here we go. I just don't like doing that. I should put a little bookmark in here. 41. Okay, here we go. Okay, can you see that? It says the blue teat, is it tit or teat? I don't know. Anyways, the blue teat's careful song serenades us lusciously at dawn. Part of a glorious choir, her voice, together with that of the wood sparrows and others, forms an ever-changing complex melody, whose sweet sounds travel far in the early morn. For as sun first warms the air, sweet coolness remains next to the earth, causing the sound waves of the choristers, is that right? Choristers, there we go, choristers' melodies to travel laterally instead of upward to the skies, so reach far into the countryside and our spirits. Humanity sings so little, and yet to sing brings joy, expansion, emotion, and pleasure. It liberates inner feelings, nourishes souls, and gives us the power to express ourselves verbally and thus be free from inhibition and constraint. And so, like Blue Tight, sing as you work, whilst as you walk, whistle as you walk, but above all, sing with others and feel yourself grow from the inside out. This is the wisdom of this bird. So, yeah, you're definitely singing yourself a new song here. Definitely singing yourself into existence is what it feels like. Like finally having a right to belong. Your whole life struggling for that, and with purpose. I mean, with reason, your family, if this is how they treat you now, like I can't even imagine the weight that they put on you as a child. So to go through that is so hard. But you're really about to shine in a whole new existence of life, and you're going to be free from this because you're going to have a choice. Do you want them in your life or do you not want them in your life? And the choice is yours. So own it. Okay, if you feel like this is your reading, leave a little tree emoji down below and say, I grow as I sing my song. Leave me a thumbs up. I'm going to go ahead and leave it there, though, and get on out of here. I do want to take a quick second, though, to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my guides for coming together to give us this message. And until next time, pile number 1, stay human. Bye. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this beautiful piece of amethyst, or if you were drawn to this card during the shuffle, then this is your reading on what are people saying about your glow up. A couple of things. These are general readings, so please take what resonates and leave what does not. Knowing that as you interact with the channel by liking, commenting, and subscribing below, it does allow me an opportunity to directly connect with your energy and get you out more resonant readings. Also, if you are interested in supporting the channel further, check out the description box where you will find all the links necessary to do so. You can reach out to me via email for a private reading, and I will get you out more information from there. And you can also follow me on over to my podcast on Spotify at Scatter Love Radio, which is a fun, chill hangout session with yours truly, and I do hope to see you there. So if you did not catch the intro, I did talk about in the intro what's going on. This is my first reading back since being sick. I'm feeling a lot better, but I do have a cough, so hang with me. And I do have to drink water quite frequently so that I can keep my mouth hydrated. Also, with the memberships, I know I said they were going to come out in November, but because I got sick, it put everything on hold. And so they are coming. I don't have a date as to when, but it is coming soon, really soon. I promise. Okay. So hang with me, and I'm so sorry about that. But at the same time, things happen that are outside of our control. And that's exactly what happened with me. So there's more information in the intro. Check that out just to save face and save my voice. I'm not going to go too far into it, but let's go ahead and get into your reading. I'm going to use the dice today to find out what it is that your glow up is in regards to. So how are you glowing up right now, so that you can tell if this is your reading or not. And then we'll get some more information from the cards. Okay, so source, where is it that pile number 2 is glowing up? What can you tell us about their glow up, source? Where is it that pile number 2 is glowing up? Okay, wow, that was rolling. Okay, so we've got 6th house Gemini energy and the moon. Okay. Your emotional well-being is changing. At a very base level here, you are about to have, like, this is like, oh, I've been doing my inner work and I feel good about myself and I let go of the hurt and the pain. For some of you, this is drawing closer to your spiritual connection with your counterpart. And also your spiritual connection with source, okay? But what we're talking about here is that you've been taking very, very good care of your emotional well-being, okay? And that's very, very much pointed out here with the moon and the 6th house coming out together. Okay, this is like you saying, I'm tired of being triggered every time I see mom telling their child they're no good, or every time you see parents yelling in a movie, or every time you have a personal trigger in your own life. Like, I'm tired of being off kilter when that stuff happens. So how do I heal that? And you've been focusing on that and honoring that within yourself and changing. You know, with Gemini here, it's showing how adaptable you've become to learning about yourself. And it's not about perfection, right? We're not looking to be perfect. We're not looking to rid ourselves of all triggers, because I don't think that in a lifetime we can. But this is saying that you've done a very good job of focusing on that and taking care of that. So, and it's the people around you, right? So whether that's coworkers or, you know, people who are, maybe you're helping or something like that. Like, you've been triggered before and you've reacted. And now when those triggers arise, instead you take time to respond, and that's allowing you to come across as a more deeply emotionally aware being. And so this is having to do with the glow up and the way that you show up in your day-to-day life and with people, and how you treat people based on what's going on around you outside of your control. So when before, maybe you might have been in a very reactive place, you're no longer in that reactive place. Even with deeply emotional triggers, you're still in this energy of like, okay, how do I take care of myself right now? And this is a very, very beautiful place to be at. Yeah, it might not be monetary, but this is what you call emotional wealth, right? Because a lot of people they're not dealing with themselves in this way. They're just not. Like, they just don't want to change. They don't want to be better. And, excuse me. And so you're taking the time to be better. You're taking the time to do what you need to do to center and find inner peace. So let's get some information on it, what people are saying about this emotional glow up for you. So what are people saying about pile number 2's glow up? Remember, we are connecting with people and how they see you, their perspective of you. That in no way, shape, or form is the truth of your character. So take it with a grain of salt, okay? So there's this energy coming through being unstable and unbalanced while you're growing. Like, you're no longer reacting the way that you once did, and so they're seeing you as being selfish because, oh, like, they don't want to give their time and energy and effort to me now because they think they're so good. Like, there's this idea that maybe you think you're better than them. And they can't control you or make you act the same way that you once did. Some people just really can't handle it when you change the dynamic in a relationship. You know, I've talked about this on my podcast. Before I draw some cards, I just want to mention this. I talked about this in my podcast at one point in time, but I'll bring it up here briefly, is that I did used to go to therapy way back when I was younger, and I do recommend therapy for anyone that's willing to seek it. It does help greatly. My therapist talked about the family dynamic mobile. You know, when you have the mobiles that go over the baby's cribs and they sing and they play music and they float around the crib like this. And if you were to remove one of those little animals, what would happen to the mobile? And at first my answer was like, well, it would collapse, wouldn't it? Because it'd be off balance. And she was telling me, she's like, no, that's the cool thing about mobiles, is that they'll balance each other out. They'll move around so they balance each other out. So if you stop playing the part in a dynamic, whether that's friends, family, co-workers, so on and so forth, here it does give me this energy of like co-workers, like you're changing the way you show up at work. Especially emotionally, like you're not trying to be so, you know, involved in the gossip and the drama and in the hardships and wanting to know everybody's business, whatever it was that you were doing initially at work, like you're no longer in that energy. And so the dynamic is beginning to shift. And because the dynamic's beginning to shift, you're the one that moved your energy out. And because of that, you become the focus on, oh, it's all pile 2's fault, or it's, oh, pile 2 this, pile 2 that, pile 2 this. Okay, and that's what they're showing me right now. But let's get some cards. Source, what are people saying about pile 2's glow up? What are people saying about pile 2's glow up? Like, especially if it was gossip, you know, which we do see with the Gemini energy coming out, which is connected to gossip. Like, if you're no longer partaking in gossip, or like when people begin to gossip and you're like, oh, I gotta go, like, and it's become a pattern for you, right? Because when you change an old pattern, you begin to implement a new pattern. And so if you're no longer like listening to the gossip, like, yeah, exactly. Suddenly people are like, oh, okay, so what? Now they're too good to listen to what we got to say. And it's like, no, I just don't want to hear it. Like, that's not being good or bad. It's just, I just don't want to hear it, and I'm choosing not to. Yeah. Yeah, so now they don't have it that year to listen to. This is what this is saying here. Like, look, if you look, the Emperor energy here is what's turning the wheel of fortune, but it's in the reverse, and we have this reversal of fortune. And it's like, yeah, you want people on your side that are emotionally intelligent. You want people on your side that don't want to spread rumors about people. You want people who are going to put in the effort to get to know you, because that's the truth of connection, right? Is getting to know one another, knowing what makes you tick, knowing what your dreams are, your hopes are, and what it is that you want to experience in life, and why is it that you want to experience that. And so it's like going into these deeper levels, and that's what you're looking for. That's what you're focused on moving forward. And so you're letting go of this old energy that has put you in the past. And so they're saying here, like, oh, now because pile 2 thinks they're too good for us, again, this Emperor energy, stepping into a position that's oftentimes very solitary, very alone, having to make difficult decisions that no one else wants to make, right? And because of that, they're saying, oh, you're too good for us, or oh, they just don't want to give back to us anymore. Oh, they think that they got something else going on for them. But really, you're focused on something else, and we'll find out what it is that's going on here. But they're saying that now they're in bad shape because you moved up. And you could have moved up in work too. You could have become a manager or had a promotion that came through. This is interesting. Okay. Just, yeah. Oh my gosh, this makes so much sense. So this could have been someone that you were romantically involved with as well. With the Four of Wands here in the reverse, we do have romantic ties, okay? And we also have the Four of Swords in reverse, and it's like, this is like people with small minds, okay? People wanting to stay stagnant, people wanting to stay stuck, feeling like this is all I have to grow on. And look at this, you have 4, 4, and 4 here. Look at that. I just now saw that 444 coming out. You may be seeing 444 a lot. The thing is here is like, this is somebody from your past. Maybe this is you got involved with somebody from your work in a past, job, and now you've left them behind and you're like, I can't do this anymore. Like, I can't. So we do have this idea of someone from your past that maybe you worked with. This could be coworkers who maybe had a crush on you and they had access to your energy like that. And now you're not giving them your energy like that anymore. Like, you've basically set a very firm boundary. And it's interesting because look at this energy. Like, you see the flowers here. You have the highlight of the cards. Let's just go through this real quick. You have the highlight of the cards here, which are the flowers, right? Especially the pip cards, which is the interesting thing about the Tarot Marseille, is because there's not much to go on, right? Except that's why they're energetic. It's a very intuitive deck. It's not like the Rider-Waite-Smith, which have very clear images that you can kind of see the story on. The Tarot Marseille is a very intuitive deck. Yes, the cards have their meanings, but there's so much more to it because the energy shifts as the cards lay out. And if you're not conscious of that, or if you're not aware of those energetic shifts, then the meanings kind of lose their value. And a lot of people don't like reading Tarot Marseille because there's not images on them. The pip cards are literally just this. And you've seen that if you've been with me any amount of time. But so let's look at the cards here. And what they're really showing me is the highlight here is the flowers. And look, both of these flowers have a white little, I don't know if you can see this little white strip, and they're both reversed. Okay, so it's like the clarity in the situation. They're not seeing clearly. They're not seeing you clearly. They're only seeing it from their place, is what the energy is coming through here. But also, as the flowers being the highlight, look at how small they are in comparison to the Emperor, who is taking up the whole of this card. And this is your energy here. It's like you've decided not to be in a small mindset, not to take action based on small thinking. You've chosen instead to take action connecting with Aries energy, which is a new start, a new beginning. You've started to take action towards something that is much more suited for your energy overall, allowing yourself to expand and to take up space. And that's making others feel very uncomfortable here. And they're talking about how uncomfortable it is to be around you because, oh my gosh, like they think that they're so good. With the Six of Wands coming out here next to the King of Cups, it's showing I want allies, right? This is the card of allies. When it's in the upright, it's a card of allies. And so you want allies here, but you want to emotionally be able to bond with your allies. Like, I don't want to talk about people. I want to know you. Okay, and so that's what we have going on here is this energy of you getting to know another person, and now they're thinking that, oh, because they don't want to share with you, right? They don't want to put in the work, because if they share with you, it means that they have to be vulnerable with you, and they're not ready to be vulnerable because they're not even ready to be vulnerable with themselves mentally or even just outright with anything. They don't want to take action towards vulnerability here. And because of that, they think that you feel like you're too good for them. And so they're talking about that now. And the gossip has shifted from other people onto you. What are they saying exactly? Honestly, Source hasn't really painted a picture of what it is that they're saying here, but they're talking about your stability and your emotional stability. That's all that they can focus on is your emotional stability. So they could be saying things like, oh, look at them being all bipolar, like they want people to believe in them because they think they're so good now, like now that they're just they're cutting everybody off. Like, they think that they're too good for us. Like, they were just as bad as we were at gossiping. And I don't necessarily feel like that's the truth. I feel like you were just giving them your energy because that was the time. That was just the energy that you were in, and that's okay. And you kind of like started, because I could talk, you started to shift, and through that shift, you finally found your balance, your ground. And the number 4 talks about strength, structure, stability, foundation, and independence. It's like being able to be rooted in. It's when the roots are really growing and gaining stability in, so that they can come into 5. And 5 is when it starts to come up and change from that initial form of a seedling now into becoming a true plant, or the true essence of its being, right? And so you're in that place of finding stability, so you can be grounded in and really own who you are. And it starts with that emotional well-being, and that's where you're at. And so there's people here that really feel like you came in and turned their luck bad, because now they don't have anybody to gossip with. It just keeps coming back to gossip, honestly. Yeah. This has been a slow and steady growth for you. Like, it's not something that happened overnight. It's not something that changed. It's just like you just slowly started seeing things that you didn't like. And so they're just like, oh, yeah. For them, though, it felt overnight. For them, it felt like it was overnight. Especially if this is like an ex coming through here, right? Like, they felt like, oh, it was like you just cut ties with them. Like, you just walked out, or you just left them high and dry. And it was like, for you, I feel like you're like, no. Like, if you could only see or know the things that you were doing, or if you could have only felt the things that you were doing, like, then you would see, like, this was a very long process for me. It took a long time for me to get through it. But they do feel, this person feels like if they tarnish your name, that they're going to feel better about themselves. They're going to be feeling better about the fact that they didn't put 100% into this connection or into this friendship. It's like, again, you're in this place of accepting your darkest part of yourself. So the parts that you don't like. So maybe that, like, if you were a people pleaser, or if you did play along with the gossip, maybe it's just honoring that, right? And again, this is just the example they're showing me here. It's like, maybe you did gossip. And then it was like, through that, you realized how it was making you feel. And you're like, oh, I don't like how that actually makes me feel. But then owning that, you know what? Hey, I did used to gossip. And I love myself enough to say, I'm not going to do that anymore. But I also love myself and know not to reject that part of myself, that I'm capable of doing that. And I'm going to own that. And it's like that, you doing that. Okay, whatever it was that you were doing, or whatever energy it was that was surrounding you, you actually owning the darker part of yourself created this ability for you to step up into your emperor energy, which is like boss energy. And so this is like them being threatened and intimidated by you, which is why the focus has come now onto you. You're the one that has now turned into who they're gossiping about. So they're saying, oh my gosh, like, they think they're too good for us. Like, that's the thing that keeps coming back, is they're too good for us. They're too good for us. They think that they're too good for us. Like, they don't even know what we went through. They don't even know what we've experienced. They don't know nothing about us. Well, no, of course you don't know anything about them, because they didn't want to be vulnerable enough to share with you. The only thing you know about them is that y'all like spreading stories about people. Yeah, we've got the 10 of Swords. Yeah, this is interesting. They put you through a lot of emotional anguish. I feel like that's the feeling that you got here. This is the energy that caused you to step into the Emperor energy. I know it's not a lot about what they're saying. I get that. And, you know, if you want more of that, check out one of the other piles, okay? But this is Source just showing you, like, what it was that caused you to grow. Because maybe you've been wondering, why is it that I've dealt with that? And the balancing act came from you feeling this emotional turmoil and angst. And feeling like, oh my gosh, like, I just don't want to be this anymore. It's like everything was cutting away at you. Everything was hurting you. You were feeling it deeply. And you're like, I just don't like to feel this way. And it's like everyone else was making it such a big deal. And it wasn't. Like, you're just like, wait, hold on. Let me step back. Like she's got her hands up. She's like, hold on. All I got to do is step back from here. I don't have to do this. It's just a dress. It's just somebody living their lives. It's just somebody having to go through this at this time. It doesn't mean that it's worth me spreading rumors. It's not worth me spreading gossip. And the reason it's coming back to gossip is because we have Gemini energy here. And Geminis are the gossips of the zodiac when they're in their shadow energy. Okay? Let's see what we got on the bottom of the deck. Yeah. We have the nameless card here, or what you might know as death. The number 13 card coming in here. You had to transition into a new phase. This is the death and rebirth coming through. It's like death to the ego, the emotional ego that's like, oh yeah, this is fun. This is what everyone's doing. You know, when you're a really kind person and you see everybody acting cruel, it's hard not to be cruel too. Right? Like, it's just hard because you're seeing everybody else doing it. And it's like everybody else seems to be accepted being that cruel kind of person. And it's like, so maybe if I'm cruel too, then people accept me. But then it's like the minute that you start being cruel to somebody, you immediately are like, I don't like that. That's exactly the type of energy here. That's what actually forced you to go into the glow up. And so now they're seeing, like, here they are talking about you and talking about how you left behind this energy so that you could have success. Like, we got the 6 of Wands here again. You want an ally here. You want to be seen. You want to feel supported. You want to support and see others. Like, you don't want people to feel the way that you did. So you finally came into this place like, okay, if I can't have that with the people I'm around, I'm going to be vulnerable enough with myself. Take care of myself. And so that's what they're talking about. It's like you have taken the time to be willing to get to know yourself, but because you didn't invite them into your life knowing how they are, like knowing how they treat others, like you knew that. And so because you didn't invite them in on your life when you decided to go and be vulnerable with yourself, they really think that like, oh, really think that you're better than them. And that's not at all. You don't think that you're better than them at all. Like, that's not what it is. You just know that that's not the type of energy that you want. And because they're not ready to see that about themselves, the only thing that they can come back with is like, oh, here's goody two-shoes, pile 2, thinking that they've got everything set for them. And they don't know nothing about what I've been through. Yeah, this is the completion of a cycle for you. This is like that realization from the time you were a little kid when you saw everybody that was doing the wrong things getting accepted and getting, you know, I don't know, maybe they were getting accolades or maybe they were getting like rewards or they were getting good grades or whatever it was. Like when you were a child, you were seeing this. And now as an adult, you were seeing this too. And it's like, maybe as a child, you're like, fine, maybe that's how I'll be. But you could never get the courage to do it. And the reason being is because it was going against alignment with your soul. And that's why you never did. So you may have gone over to the people-pleasing energy, or you may have gone over to the silence. You know, just sometimes just to be silent. I'd rather be silent than to be that person. And then when they started doing this in your adult life, or you started being surrounded by it again, it really lit this fire inside of you. And you're like, I don't want this. I don't want this. And they're not, like, Source doesn't really want to focus on what it is that they're saying about your glow up, because these people are not going to be here for very much longer. Like, if they're in your energy now, they're definitely on the way out. Okay, because you've ended this cycle. Look, we've got Gemini energy again. So this could be a Gemini. Curiosity, intellect, and networking. This could be a Gemini in your energy that's doing this. You could be Gemini. You could also have Mercury in Gemini. Or the third house. Third house Gemini, third house in Mercury. Yeah, make your dreams real. Like, that's what you want to focus on now. Look, and we have number 56, which in numerology is 11. 11 is a very spiritual number. This is all about your spiritual growth. That's what this has all been about. Like, you're not just letting people be who they are, or, well, okay, what is it? You're going to let people do what they're going to do, but you're not letting that energy into your energy field anymore if you don't resonate with it, right? Yeah, tend to the small things. Like, if it makes you feel bad, you're like, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to check out. I don't want to be in this anymore. I don't want to deal with this type of energy anymore because that's not who I want to be. And seeing that you're okay with that, I think, is a very powerful place to be at, you know? And it's interesting because as I'm reading this for you, you know, I'm connecting with your energy, and it's almost like there's a sense of peace coming over you. Like, finally, like, I'm seeing them for who they are. Like, and I know that they're not true friends. Like, I know that they're not even acquaintances. Like, they're basically strangers who just have a lot to say about nothing. And it's almost like a sense of peace coming over you with like, okay, I knew I felt good. Like, I knew I felt better leaving, and I knew I was right about how they were. Like, it's almost like the clarification coming in. I'm going to get 3 of these cards for you. For pile 2 source, can we please have 3 of these cards? Yeah, I have 3 right off the bat. Yeah, look, the first card that flips over, evidence. Exactly what I was talking about. Detection, instigation, and proof. That's exactly what I was talking about. Thank you, source. That's what it feels like. Like, there's just a sense of peace here. Like, thank you for clarifying that for me, source. Like, thank you for giving me the sign that my intuition was right about these people. Like, it's like, I know that I'm right, but it's like sometimes you just need that reassurance here. And we have number 5, like 55 coming out here, 10, which is also completion, the ending of a cycle. Right? And we were talking about 5 with all the 4s here. It's like coming up into that new place of growth. But this is where they're at. They're just stuck. They're hemmed in. Captivity, tolerance, and unfreedom, confinement with 56. Like 55 and 56 coming out together. It's like you had to investigate whether or not you wanted to stay in this place of confinement, and you chose not to. Like, you're like, no, I don't want to live like this. And then loss, bereavement, sorrow, and damage. And really, they're sad that they've lost you, and I feel like that's just triggering their own internal losses that they've not yet dealt with. But I feel like here, it's like maybe there's this sense of feeling like maybe I'm alone, like people don't understand me, people aren't going to get me, like I feel like I'm so different than everyone else. And you're right now dealing with those internal triggers on a deep emotional level and realizing that maybe there is damage, maybe there is being broken somewhere along the way, but that doesn't mean that I'm broken. And it's okay to feel my emotions, you know, and that's what I'm getting with the loss here. Let's see what else we have here. Yeah, you're becoming a very authentic person. You're choosing to be yourself. And that's what I'm saying, like this whole reading, it just feels like Source is just pointing out that this situation, you know very well what the situation is. You're very aware of who these people are. And it's like through that, knowing that they're stuck in this old energy, you're like, nope, that's not what I want, but what do I want? And you've learned a lot about yourself, and that started with that emotional intelligence. Like house 9, spiritual growth. We talked about number 11 being a very spiritual number, very expansive number. This is connected with Jupiter energy and Sagittarius energy, which is funny because Sagittarius is the direct opposite to Gemini in the zodiac. So you might notice that a lot of Geminis and Sagittarians get together. And it's because of that opposites attract energy. But that's just an interesting energy coming through here. It's like you're the actual direct opposite. And where that might have attracted you at one point in time, now you're like, oh, no. Like, I don't want that at all. Right? And you're learning that you don't want to attract your opposite. You want to attract something that's like-minded, right? Like attracts like. And so we have Bridget here. Caution is warranted. Look deeper into the situation before proceeding further. Exactly. Detective. You've been playing detective with this situation for a while. Like, it's just so funny. I know it's sometimes frustrating when Source doesn't really give us, like, what are they saying? But when that comes through, just know it's not meant to frustrate you. It's just meant to re-encourage you that you've done the right thing. You're on the right path. Why? Because blessings are coming. Fulfillment, well-being, and enlightenment. Yes! If this is resonating with you, leave a little elephant emoji down below and say, I call in my well-being and my enlightenment. Like, just let that know. And look, numerology, number 5. So we have 555 coming out, 444 coming out. Shoot, if those numbers resonate with you, leave 555 and 444 down below. Let's go ahead and check out what your bird message is. I'm going to read this from the book. Let me grab a drink of water real quick because I'm a little dry. Oh, so much better. All right, what do we have? We have rhinoceros hornbill. Look at this. Perfect trust will be rewarded with its like. Oh, wasn't I just saying like you want to say like attracts like? Oh my gosh, I love that. Oh, thank you, Source. Thank you so much. I did not know what that was. That's so, I still, like, even to this day, like, how much it surprises me when stuff like that happens. It's just such a blessing. That's why it's not my gift. It's sourced through me. That's all it is. It's like everybody's like, oh, it's my gift. It's like, no, because it was never mine to begin with. It's just a blessing from source is what it is. When we open up to that's what life is. It's a blessing from source. It's never truly ours. It's a blessing. So it's just open-mindedness. We have rhinoceros hornbill. Revered by the Dayak people of Borneo, lives in lush forests. Her nest site a spacious hole in a small trunk. Once she has made her choice of residence, she settles patiently within and begins to close the nest once wide ingress. Her mates supply her with plastering materials until at last just a slit remains from which protrudes her bill. Hornbill cannot leave, but neither can predators cross her threshold. Thus, Hornbill's greatest treasure, her chicks, are safe. She trusts implicitly in her mate, and he does not let her down, feeding and tending her for 3 long months until their chicks can fledge and the plastered entrance can be broken. It says relationships are built on trust, and if Hornbill has settled into your cards, have faith in life, and if applicable, that special other person. Trust engenders trust, and yours will be amply rewarded. Exactly. That's you don't want these weird connections that are very like superficial. That's not what we want. True connection. And that's the thing, and it has to be in trust. And that's why they're saying, oh, well, they don't know me, they don't know me. Well, of course you don't know them, because they've never been open enough or vulnerable enough with you to share. And likewise, you've not shared with them who you are, because that's not like attracting like, right? You're not going to give yourself so that they can use that against you. And so that's the thing here. And they're very clear about that here. That's really what they're saying, is that they're mad because you haven't given them what they want, so that they can be that person that creates disruption, really is what they want to do, is disrupt. But overall, Source is just very proud of you for choosing yourself in this situation. You've used a lot of caution here, and that's helped you come back closer to yourself, okay? And you've completed some sort of cycle. So you're not going to be inviting this in. It may still come into your life, but it's not something you're going to be open door inviting in any longer, okay? So this is what I see for you. Leave me a thumbs up if it resonates. Remember to leave that elephant emoji down below as well if you feel like this is your reading. I'm going to go ahead and leave it there, though, and get on out of here. I do want to take a quick second, though, pile 2, to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angels, source, and my guides for coming together to give us this message. And until next time, stay human. Bye. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this beautiful piece of amethyst, or if you were drawn to this card during the shuffle, then this is going to be a reading on what are people saying about your glow up. First things first, keep in mind these are general readings, so take what resonates and leave what does not, knowing that as you interact with the channel by liking, commenting, and subscribing below, it does allow me an opportunity to directly connect with your energy and get you out more resonant readings. If you are interested in supporting the channel further, you'll find all the links below in the description box. In order to do so, you can email me for a personal reading, and I'll get you out further information from there. And you can also follow me on over to my podcast on Spotify at Scatter Love Radio, which is a fun, chill hangout session with yours truly, and I do hope to see you there. Also, this is my first reading from being sick, and bear with me, I still have a cough, and I'm just really getting back into it, so I do feel pretty good, and I just want to let you know that I have been coughing a little bit, and so I've been taking a lot more water. So if I'm taking breaks, that's why. Also, if you didn't catch the intro, make sure you do catch the intro if you're interested in the memberships, as I explain what's going on in the intro about the memberships, and to save myself some time and some energy, just referring you back to the intro. How many times can we say intro? Before we get started, they've been very clear about this as I was getting prepared for your reading, is that it is about love. I don't know what's going on here. It's somebody that does care about you, somebody that you're interested in, somebody that you're already seeing. But they've been making it very clear that it is somebody who's finding inspiration in regards to you about your glow up. And I guess we'll find out what comes through in the cards, but they've been very clear about it multiple times. I wasn't going to say anything, but it just keeps coming through. Love, love, love. So I guess it's somebody who loves you. They've been pretty specific about the people, what they've been saying. So obviously it has to be people who know us, but yeah. Let's go ahead and take a look at the dice. We're going to find out from the dice what your glow up is in regards to. Okay, so Source, what is pile number 3's glow up in regards to? Where are they glowing up in their life, Source? Would you like to tell us where it is that pile number 3 is glowing up in their life? Okay, yeah, so we've got the 9th house. We have Aries energy and Sagittarius energy. Letting go of the hardships that you've been through in life and starting anew with your spiritual journey. Like, you are becoming spiritually, I honestly heard spiritually well endowed. Like, that's really what came through. That's kind of funny to me. But this is an energy of you just, you know what? I've been trying something and it's not that it didn't work, but I feel like there's a better way to do it. And so you're going to try that, and you may be traveling soon. You may be getting out of Dodge with the 9th house energy here. But it feels like you're gaining a new understanding. So you are definitely my very spiritual pile. You are someone that really does see the world from a different place, like from a place of love, from a place of detachment, but not because of saving face, right? Like, that's not what that is. Like, you see it from a place of detachment, understanding that people are going to do what people are going to do, and that does not need to affect my own journey, nor do I need to sit back in judgment of them, because I've got too much going on for myself that I got to focus on. So I'm going to let people do what they're going to do, and I'm just going to continue to show up exactly as I am each and every day. And so your glow up is in regards to the things that you've maybe struggled with. And I feel like since relationships was coming through, you may be someone that's been struggling a lot with relationships and finding close friends and finding a love relationship, or even finding soul tribe and soul family. You know, maybe healing the wounds of the past and healing those deep, deep rooted wounds that are triggers from our childhood. And it's now finally coming to a close here. This is something that's been a long time in the making. This is something that you've been diligently working towards, putting a lot of energy and effort towards. You maybe feel like you're in a stagnant period at this time, but it's like right before the big bang is what I'm hearing. And not something to stress out about. Like, that's not something to stress out about. It's just like right before something really does shift. Okay? So you may be traveling somewhere new where you're gaining a new sense of energy from that, and a new sense of purpose from that as well. Like, purpose for life. This feels like you're already in your path of purpose, but this feels like a new reason for being excited about getting up in the morning. Sometimes we go through these ebbs and flows. It feels like there's a sense of struggle here in wanting to get up every day and just wondering why. Like, is it depression? Is it just because, you know, am I doing the wrong thing? Is it because I'm healing? Like, it's like you're not really putting a label on it, but kind of wanting to know at the same time, like, what is this? And so there's this, what your glow up is, and is the fact that you're ascending right now. And we go through multiple ascensions through our lives. And from my own experience, every ascension is different. Like, sometimes you just get depressed. Sometimes you get super giddy and happy. Sometimes you experience hardships. Sometimes you experience just bliss and joy. Like, it's kind of all over the board. It's like no ascension is the same as the last. And so that's kind of like, I feel like you're questioning, am I ascending right now? Like, what's really going on? And so that's what Source is saying. Your glow up right now is an ascension. Like, it's a spiritual ascension, awakening that's coming through right now. And you're going to be very clear on something moving forward. And you're being given an opportunity to have a new beginning. So let's ask the tarot. Source, what are people saying about Pile number 3's glow up. And remember, we are connecting with how other people see you through their perception, through their eyes. So that in no way, shape, or form is the truth of your character. Keep that in mind as we move forward, okay? So Source, what are people saying about pile number 3's glow up? What are people saying about pile number 3's glow up? Yeah, you manifested something. You manifested something new. What are people saying about pile number 3's glow up, Source? Thank you. What are people saying about pile number 3's glow up, Source? What are people saying about pile number 3's glow up? Thank you. Right off the bat. I like that. All right, let's see what's on the bottom of the deck. Yeah, we have the 3 of Cups in the upright. It's definitely an expansion. An expansion of emotions here. A growth in your love aspects. This is like a growth in your emotional well-being and the people around you. So you're seeing something come to fruition for you. You're seeing that there's something here that's being balanced out. And it's like something that you've struggled with. Whew, sorry, my nose is going crazy right now. Yeah, something you haven't been very clear on. And now there's like a newfound identity around that, a newfound belief. And this is the completion of some cycle for you. This is you letting go of what once was. Walking through the gates. Walking through the threshold. You know, on the 3 of Cups here, whenever it shows up, it does talk about our relationship with our early childhood, right? Our family roots. And it's connected with Cancerian energy. And it can talk about, if it's in the reverse, it can talk about the neglect or the emotional trauma that we went through as a child. And so here in the upright, it's showing that you've healed a lot of that. You may have come from one of the other piles as well. And this is just showing that you have really found foundational well-being in separating yourself from the idea of what society says has to be love. Like, you've separated yourself from that, and you're growing because of that, gaining a wider perspective on what love could really be. That's why I was saying, like, I don't feel like you're someone who sits in judgment of others or sits back and is like, oh, well, they did that and they did this. Like, you're just basically like, hey, do what you're going to do because I got other things to take care of. And that's what you're doing. You're tending to your garden and you're being lifted above everything else. And so it feels like you're coming into a new spiritual connection with Source, but all at the same time, like a new spiritual love connection as well. That could be that it's coming manifest into the world, but this also feels like you're becoming more connected with them. And I feel like they're feeling that too. So this is what this is showing me here. But what people are saying is that, like, maybe you were unsure about something that you really didn't have a lot of experience in, or that you didn't know if you could grow in that. And they're seeing you grow, okay? And they're seeing you grow above that. And they're seeing that it's okay to not know every page, what's on every page, what's written. It's okay to not know the whole story here is what's peeking. Yeah. That you've dealt with a lot of hardships in the past. This is a different energy than the other 2 piles. I like this. The other 2 piles have been kind of rough. But let's see what's coming out. Yeah, okay. Okay, so we've got the 9 of Swords in the reverse here. We've got the 7 of Wands in the upright. And we've got the Moon in the upright here. So you could have Pisces, Cancer, Leo, and Gemini energy highly aspect in your chart. You might not. You could have a Leo moon or a Cancerian moon here. You could also have a Sagittarius rising or a Gemini rising is what they're showing me. But what it's showing here is like you are purging the subconscious emotions. And so what people are saying about you is that where things were a red flag once in your life, like things were troublesome for you or things were drawing you in and you might have gotten hopelessly lost in situations before in your life. These are people who are seeing you from afar, watching you overcome. It could, again, I keep getting this energy that this is a love interest. Like this is someone who's been watching you from afar. Someone who's been watching you in the distance, like beyond the shadows. Like it just keeps showing me like someone peeking out, like half their face is in the light and half their face is in the shadow. Like they don't want to be seen, but they are very much intrigued by how far you've come. How you've truly, truly poured into yourself. And through that, you have let go of situations that they don't know how you found the strength to do so, but they also saw as like a red flag in your life. They saw as turmoil. They saw as toxic for you. So they're like, oh, that's really toxic. Like, how's pile 3 ever going to overcome that? And yet, through miracles, you've done that. You've been able to focus on letting it go. And they're just in this place of being in awe. So this does feel like there's something very spiritual about this connection, though. It's like something on a deeper level here with the 3 of Cups. I keep getting this. It's like, you know, like they're every time you lift up your energy, like they are inspired by you, and so they want to become a better version of themselves. Yeah, this has a lot different type of energy to it than the other 2 piles. So if you did come from the other 2 piles, leave a purple heart down below and say I made it. I know there's quite a few of you that watch all my readings, so I appreciate you so much. But this is like just this energy of like they just want to be able to build with you because they've seen you overcome some of the hardest things in life. They've seen you overcome some really humongous difficulties. Like, how are they going to overcome that? And somehow, some way, shape, or form, you were able to overcome it. You were able to get through it. You were able to get beyond it. Let's get some clarifiers out here, Source. Look at that. Yeah. You became your own hero here with the Knight of Swords coming out. You saved yourself. Because I feel like whoever this is, they were like, they wanted to save you, but they knew that they couldn't. They knew that they didn't have the strength to come in and save you from the hardships. Because either you wouldn't listen. You know how people are like, oh, I want to help you, but you have to help yourself. Like, that's the energy. It's like they didn't want to interfere because they wanted to see if you'd be willing to do it for yourself. And now they're like just in awe. And it might seem like, oh, that's like selfish. Like, why wouldn't they come in and help us? And the truth is that everybody has good intentions for another person, and they could really be doing, like, they could really be coming in and saying, you know, like, this is not a good situation for you, but if you're not ready to hear it, you might say some really hurtful things just because you're not ready to hear what they have to say. Right? 14:14 on the clock as I'm saying that. So it's like this energy of like, you're not ready to feel what it is that's the truth in the situation. And that's what it is. It feels like while they might have seen it because they were outside of it, they weren't emotionally involved in it. They couldn't come and save you. And that's exactly what the Knight of Swords talks about, is saving self here. Right? And then we have, yeah, exactly, from toxic situations with the Devil coming out. Like, this gives me this idea of resignation. It was like there's a situation here where you resigned at one point. You were just like, this is just how life is. So this could have been a toxic ex. This could have been a toxic family member. This could have been a toxic job situation. This could have been a toxic living situation. Like, you just resigned. You're like, this is just how it has to be. Like, I'm just doing what I need to do. But then through the grace of healing yourself, you learned that you deserved much better. And that's what they're saying here. They're talking about how you overcame this situation. So I might be talking about this situation here, but this is what they're saying. They're just like, if they have somebody that they trust, excuse me, I need a drink of water. So if they have somebody that they trust here, that they're willing to share their emotions and their feelings with, they're just talking about how amazing you are, like how much you have come through the darkness and into the light. And you could have just let yourself be swept away by what was, because of the prospect of the lack of hope of what could be. And you weren't. And that's what gives them reason every day. You know, that's why I was saying, like, you needed that reason to get out of bed, and it feels like you're this person's reason to get out of bed. Because every day you come up with something new, or you're, like, experiencing a new thing, and it's like you're giving them hope. So maybe It could just be as simple as on social media, you post something that's like really positive, but it's like the way that it comes across, or the way that you might talk about it, or the way that you might present it comes through in such a way that they're like, oh my gosh, like I never thought about it that way. Or you post such deep things that inspire you, and they're like, oh, like pile 3 actually sees this in this way. Like I didn't think to look at it that way. And that's what they're saying. It's like just how much you inspire them and how much you help them heal on a deeper level. Yeah, and grow. With the 5 of Coins here, you're helping them grow. Letting go. A big change. This is a big shift in energy here. This is that ascension energy coming in because of you purging those subconscious beliefs. Anytime the moon comes out, it's something deep below the surface that we are bringing into our consciousness. And when we bring what's unconscious into the consciousness, it can sometimes make us feel like, well, it can make us feel all kinds of ways in reality. And what's coming through here is it's like you walked alone in the darkness and you had to rebuild light into your life. But what it was really is finding the light within. Angel. Sorry, there's somebody right outside and she's like trying to figure out who it is. And she's like, oh my gosh, what is going on? There's all kinds of noise coming through. But it's like you had to rebring light into your life here. And trust. Trust that this was a good thing for you. Yeah, and set boundaries. Right? And this gives me Alice in Wonderland vibes too, like going down the rabbit hole. Hold on just a second. Go lay down. She's just like, I don't know what I want to do. But, excuse me. This is like you went down the rabbit hole where no one else was willing to go. And the 5 of Cups is all about networking. But it's like you found your other half here too. Like this is a very interesting energy, but you're not. What's so interesting about it is like you feel like how these complete each other, right? He completes her because he has the head to the wings, and she completes him because she has the head to the body. But notice how they're 2 individuals on their own. They're just reflections of each other. And that's what it feels like here. They're seeing how they're reflection of you. They're seeing how they can, it's like through you, I see my deepest self. And I don't want to fight with that anymore. I don't want to disown that anymore. I want to work at finding the beauty within me, which trying to peek here. Yeah, the Page of Coins. Finding a new sense of freedom, of peace, and of internal harmony. Oh, what's peeking out here? The King of Coins. Did we have the King of Coins come out on yours? Over here? On the bottom. Yeah, so they want to come into balance. They want to be the balance that's in your life. And that's what they're talking about. I feel like they have friends or they have somebody in their life that's like, you better just do something. Like, you better just do it. You better just get it. You know? And they're in this place of like feeling ready. It's like they're gaining some sense of courage to come forward. I feel like it's because the more that you awaken to your true self, the more that you awaken to your higher purpose, which you're walking in your purpose, but the more you just awaken, right? The more your soul comes into a place of unconditional love, the more you inspire this person to become their essence of unconditional love as well. And it's all from your boundaries. That's where your emotional well-being has come from. Setting boundaries that maybe were blurred at one point in time. Even with this person, I feel like maybe you even had to set boundaries with this person. Yeah, and it's not like they meant to intentionally hurt you. They just didn't know that they were carrying toxic traits that were going to hurt you. And I feel like that's the thing. It's like they're like, whoa, like pile 3 was strong enough to set emotional boundaries with me. No one's ever been able to do that before. Like, even though it hurt them, it also made you even more attractive to them. And that's what they're talking about. They're like, nobody's done that before. Nobody's ever been willing to do that. Like, I can't believe they did that, but I'm so glad that they did. Like, they're just enamored by the fact that you've embodied and continue to embody your power of will. Like, you continue to become stronger and stronger version of yourself. Yeah, this definitely feels like a person. It could be multiple people, but it does feel like a person. So they want me to bring this out. So we have stone people with vigilance here, and this talks about staying true to your journey, regardless of what you see or don't see. Just taking the time and continuing on with the journey. Never giving up. And that's what's got them in their feels. It's like you've never given up. They could see building a future with you. I feel like you've inspired them to overcome a lot of toxic things in their lives, whether that's people or traits or patterns or beliefs. Look, we have House 11, friends, like-minded groups, and humanitarian beliefs. Yeah, so this is definitely someone that's supposed to be in your circle. Whoa, thank you, Source. Whew. Let clear out the clutter with number 28. It's just 10, and 10 is all about completing cycles, right? So it's like, that's the thing, is you had to clear out the clutter in order to make space for someone like this to come in. But on that same energy, it's like, because you were clearing out the clutter in your life, they were also clearing out the clutter in their lives. And so it's like you inspire them. You really inspire them. Let's get an angel card here. Okay, thank you. All right, and then we want to get 3 of these. May I please have 3 of these for pile number 3, Source? What else would you like to say? Thank you. 1 more? Whoa, okay, so you're getting a little bit more. On the bottom of the deck, we have daydream, optimism, illusions, and delirious. Yeah, this person daydreams about you a lot. I feel like sometimes it's really bad. Like, I feel like sometimes it's like to the point of losing themselves, and they're realizing they got to work on some things. So we have idea, inspiration, suggestion, and vision. Yeah, you definitely inspire them. That's what they talk about, how inspirational you are. There's like an energy that's surrounding them of people being tired of them talking about you. Like, it's cute, right? Like, it's cute. Like, they're so obsessed with you. They're like, that's why I'm saying, like, they have somebody in their energies like, you better make a move soon, otherwise you're going to lose out on pile 3. Like, they're like, I'm just making sure it's the right time. Like, they're waiting for something. Okay, you might be like, well, I don't want people to keep me in a place of waiting. Like, it's not like that. Like, there's something, like, it could be divine timing at play here. It could be any amount of things coming through here. We have merit making that came out, goodness, humanness, and morality. Yeah, they're just so enamored by what a kind-hearted person you are. Like, you're just a loving person. Like, even though you went through the darkness, even though you went through the hardships, like, you're still a loving, genuine person. We have sweet dreams coming out, satisfaction, comfortable, and lazy day. Like, again, this idea of dreaming about you. I feel like they see you a lot in their dreams. And they talk about that. It feels like they have one person that they really trust, and they talk about it with this person about you. And treasure, abundance, valuable, and enrichment. Yeah, they treasure you. Oh, that's so freaking cute. Excuse me. Excuse me. They definitely treasure you. So what do we have here? Work, beavers. So you could have met this person at work. This could be someone that you work with. This could be someone that you have worked with, but I also feel like this is just showing like you've put in a lot of work on yourself, and you're building your castle of dreams. And you found balance. And they talk about how much more balanced you are. Like, that's something that's very attractive to them now. Like, you've always been attractive to them. But I feel like what's even more attractive to them now is the fact that you found a sense of knowing your purpose in life, and knowing that there's purpose behind that purpose, right? It's like finding the synergy. It's like, without you being you, it would create an or I want to say indenture. I'm not sure if that's the right word, but it would create like a vortex or a hole, a black hole of where it's like you didn't do what you needed to do, what you came and you promised you were going to do. And so that in turn created a situation where another person couldn't do what they were going to do. And it's like you found that balance of knowing that even though it was hard for you to choose you, there was a purpose behind that. Fix. So they could be a Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, or Aquarius energy. We have stability, persistence, loyalty, and dependability. So they do talk about how you're someone who's very loyal, you're very dependable, you're very persistent, you've done a lot, you've never given up, and you're very stable now in your emotions and in your life. Like you're very hardworking and determined. You're very much in this place of not afraid to face the hardships, right? We talk about Saturn being the planet of tough love. And it's like they talk about that all your glow ups have been facing hard things and you're not afraid to do hard things. So we have number 22, Dragonfly Spirit, truth transcends illusion. Yeah. So definitely this energy around you where it's like you're coming into a place of seeing the truth. You're coming into a place of realizing your truth, and that's helping them to realize their truth too. This person definitely does admire you. They treasure you. They love you deeply, okay? They feel very abundant in your energy, and they want more of that. And so there's plans to move forward with this. And it's, of course, up to you to say yes or no to this person. That's not what we're trying to find out today. But Source is making it very clear that this person really does care about you. We have Opal. Your children on earth and in heaven are happy and well cared for by God and the angels. And this tells me two things. You could have maybe, and I'm so sorry, this is a trigger alert real quick here. Maybe you did have a miscarriage in your life, okay? Maybe you have lost a baby in your life or a child, and they're saying they're helping you along your journey, and that's maybe the hardships that you went through. Maybe you were in a very toxic situation where no one was supporting you after having gone through something that was so heartbreaking. And if it wasn't that, it's just, again, that same energy after going through something that was heartbreaking, that was meant to tear you down, and somehow you became stronger because of it. And so this is just a message for those of you that resonates with, that your children are still watching over you. Okay, they're going with you on your journey. They're loving you. They're inspired by you. They deeply are just so happy that they've had a chance to connect with you on both in the waking realm and in the spiritual realm. And for those of you that doesn't resonate with, this is just a message that you are connecting with your deep inner child and you're becoming that pure essence, that pure soul once again. And that's such a beautiful, beautiful energy. Even both ways around, even though it is hard, it's just really, really always comforting to know that we have something like that, right? We always have that love that never ends. It's always there. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at your bird message. I'm going to read this from the book. We have Western Bluebird. Lend a helping hand. Oh my goodness. And never forget that spring will return. Yeah, oh my gosh, that goes in line with just having experienced that hardship, right? The winter can be seen as a hardship. Winter used to be very scary for us as humans because we didn't know if we were going to make it through or not, right? And so winter is a very scary time, but it's like when we help each other and when we're there for each other, we can feel that love of spring, that new beginning, that ability to bring in what we need for our lives once again. And so I feel like that's just it. It's like even through your hardest times, like you've still always been there for the people who matter. You've still always shown up. You've still always been a strong individual. And you also found a way to take care of yourself in part of that. And this person is just like, that's it. Like, I feel like they want to come in and give you this helping hand. I feel like they also want to help relieve some of the stress in your life to make things a little bit easier for you because you're always just giving so much of yourself. It's not that you're overextending yourself, and sometimes you do, but I do feel like you do take care of yourself as well. I feel like they just want to help you with that. Okay, it says, Bluebird sings happily as fall turns to chilly winter. His daughters have flown the nest, and his sons have paired with plump chestnut-breasted loves from faraway forests. Now this small community face winter as one. During dining on romantic mistletoe berries and snuggling together in night. Yeah, so again, this idea of love, like that's so trippy. I love that. I didn't know. I still getting to know cards, so I had no idea. That's such a trip. We have in spring, those of the bluebird sons who were fortunate enough in the lattery of love fly with their partners to territories new. Those whom Cupid forgot to visit stay in the family home, and when their parents' eggs hatch, they join in the roisterous celebration of new life by bringing fat insects to wide open beaks of their squawking relatives. If, like Bluebird, you find yourself alone, lend a hand to those in need, help friends, or create life by caring for the natural world. And meanwhile, like Bluebird, be happy knowing that spring will arrive again and with it new possibilities. So definitely this energy of just like you have just been giving yourself to what matters to you, who matters to you. And this person has been seeing all of that. And I feel like this person's been hit with Cupid's bow. As cliche as that sounds, it's true. It's just like this person really has been hit by this energy of like, wow, you're so incredible, pile 3. Like, I really can't get enough of you. Like, they're sad. Like, if you don't post every day, it's like they're sad on the days that you don't post. And so they're revisiting old posts or whatever it is. Like, they're just trying to get more and more of you. And it's like they get so excited when they see something new from you. And they're just like, wow, pile 3 is so different than when I knew them. And that's helping them balance their own energy as well. And so it's just up to you. Like, if you know who this is, again, we're not talking about whether or not you need to be with this person, but they do just really, really admire you so much. And I'm so glad that you were pile 3, because pile 1 and 2 were rough. And so if you made it the whole way through, leave that purple heart down below and say, I made it. You guys know I have designated the purple heart for those of you that watched my reading all the way through, and I'm just appreciative, and I love you so much. But if you feel like this is your reading, leave a little bluebird down below. I think there's a bluebird. If not, leave a little bird down below and say, I help others out so that I can balance my energy. And let Source know that you're calling in that higher vibrational energy love. Leave me a thumbs up. I'm going to go ahead and leave it there, though, and get on out of here. I do want to take a quick second, though, to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my guides for coming together to give us this message. And until next time, pile number 3, stay human. Bye.